The Council of Ministers directs the SPLA forces to be at maximum alert to respond to any security threat in the country. And government urges the UN to hold Iraq responsible for using children to fight for his war. And thousands attend mass mobilization rally in Magu town of Eastern Equatorial State. Hello, this is South Sudan Television broadcasting home and viewed around the globe. My name is Alejandro Lotok, and now the full text of the bulletin. The Council of Ministers held an extraordinary meeting in Juba on Tuesday to discuss the general security situation in the country. Defense Minister Lieutenant General Kwol Manyang Juk told the cabinet that the rebels attacked Bentiu but are being resisted by the National Army. The minister said the security situation in both Jonglei and Upper Nile states is relatively calm, though the rebels are launching some sporadic attacks in some areas. The cabinet chaired by President Kiir also approved £5 million for the purchase of seeds to be distributed to farmers across the country. Rejoice Dio Samson reports.
In its extraordinary meeting on Tuesday, received a security report from the Minister of Defense, Kwol Manyang Juk, on the security situation in Upper Nile and Jonglei states, which he described as normal, but that the rebels still launch attacks in some parts of the states, but the SPLA repulsed them. Speaking to the media, the official government spokesperson and Minister of Information and Broadcasting, Michael Makwelweth, said rebels attacked a new oil refinery in Unity State 2 days ago and caused destruction in the refinery, which will take 2 months to repair. He further said rebels continue to attack Bentiu town of Unity State and are being resisted by the SPLA forces.
Among other issues, it discussed receive a security report from His Excellency the Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, and in his report he clearly stated that the situation in Upper Nile and Jonglei State are normal, and that the situation as we move is moving on well, except that the rebels have been attacking sporadically here and there in the 2 states, but the situation is under control. Wherever they attack, they are repulsed. As for Unity State, as you might have heard that yesterday or the day for yesterday, the rebels had attacked the oil refinery, and they did some destruction in it, but at the end they were repulsed, except that they have the refinery has sustained some destruction. A situation that requires the repair of the refinery before it starts its production. It was mentioning that the refinery was supposed to start production at the end of this month, but unfortunately with this interruption now and the destruction of some parts of the facility, then definitely it will take another maybe 1 month or 2 for us to have that facility operation. So as for the attack of the rebels on Unity State, the rebels attempted to attack Bentiu area, Bentiu town and Rukwana, and now up to now they are being resisted and the fighting is still going on. We have not yet got up to the time when we went in for the meeting. We did not yet hear about the outcome of that fight. But we expect that our forces will ultimately repulse all these attacks and chase away the rebels. The Cabinet, in its decision, commended the report of the Minister of Defense and directed that the SPLA forces should be on maximum alert to repulse whatever attacks and chase the rebels to their last destination, because the situation as of now is no longer tolerable, and it is the duty of the army after this to chase the rebels to the last destination where they started. They should not just be repulsed and left at large, but they must be given a pursuit to their last destination so that we can control this situation. The Cabinet also received a report from the petroleum products from the Minister of Petroleum on the petroleum products standard specifications and quality control. Ultimately, as we know, the oil which has been coming in from the foreign from foreign countries, being from Sudan or from East Africa, we had no mechanisms for checking the quality of the fuel or the oil that comes into South Sudan. And as such, it is decided that, yes, the cabinet decided that the Ministry of Petroleum should set up a quality control unit, and that quality control unit is the body that will be in charge of checking all the petroleum products that do enter South Sudan and whatever products that will be produced by the refinery when it is operational. In addition to that, this quality control unit, which will be under the ministry, will be all its decisions and recommendations and report will be subject to the approval of the National Bureau of Standards, because this will be a subunit under the ministry. But the National Bureau of Standards is the body that is responsible for whatever quality of whatever kind that comes into South Sudan. So whatever is done by this unit will be subject to the approval of the Bureau of the National Bureau of Standards, so that we keep one uniform standards all over.
McQuay said the cabinet also received a report from the Minister of Petroleum and Mining, Bentiu, on petroleum product standard specification and quality control. The cabinet directed the ministry to set up the Petroleum Control Unit to be in charge of controlling all the petroleum products entering to the country, and the reports to be subject to the approval of the National Bureau of Standards. The minister added that the cabinet has also approved the new electricity tariff following a memo presented to the council by the Minister of Electricity and Dams.
Her Excellency presented a new electricity tariff or new electricity rates. These new electricity rates are dictated by the circumstances. In fact, the electricity rates which we are now applying are electricity rates which were fixed earlier before our independence. And this was the time when the cost of the drum of fuel was just something above 300 South Sudanese pounds. But at present, a drum of fuel has gone to 1,200 Sudanese pounds. Meanwhile, the rates continue to be very low. So the electricity corporation has been facing a lot of difficulty in the management of the resource of the corporation, and as such, the cabinet approved the new rates for electricity as follows. For the domestic, it will be from 0.5. It was 0.5 Sudanese pounds per kilowatt per hour unit, and it is now increased to £1 per kilowatt per hour unit. And for the commercial purposes, it was 0.7, and it is increased to 1.3 Sudanese pounds. As for the government, it was 0.8, and it is increased to 1.5 Sudanese pounds, South Sudanese pounds per kilowatt hour units. So the average of the old rate had been 0.67 South Sudanese pounds per kilowatt per hour unit, and the new rate at present is 1.37 South Sudanese pounds per kilo hour unit. And all these will be with immediate effect. This is in order to enable the corporation to at least ascertain or render better services to the people. All these rates will apply all over South Sudan, and they will be reviewed as soon as the refinery produces and the furnace or the oil is produced locally, and as such the rates will ultimately drop, and with that these rates will be reviewed or reconsidered. The last presentation was made by His Excellency the Minister of Agriculture on the crop and food security in South Sudan. In his report, the minister informed us that the food situation in South Sudan is not that guaranteed, it is not reliable, and as such, we need more food. And for us to get more food, they made a presentation to the cabinet requesting approval of funds for purchase of seeds, because they say if you want to help a person, don't feed him but give him the tools to produce. So the government approved, cabinet approved that the sum of 5 million South Sudanese pounds is approved for the purchase of seeds for this season. And the seeds that will be bought are sorghum, maize, rice, groundnuts, sesame, and beans. And these seeds, as soon as they are got, then they will be distributed to the 10 states of South Sudan according to the areas of production.
The Council also approved a sum of 5 million South Sudanese pounds to purchase seeds to help improve food production in the country. Reporting for South Sudan Television, I'm Rejoice Teo Samson.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation has urged the United Nations to hold Riek Machar accountable for recruiting children to fight for his cause. Dr. Barnaba Mariel Benjamin said majority of the White Army claimed and commanded by Riek Machar are children who know nothing about military engagement. The minister's appeal comes as the United Nations launches a campaign against the recruitment of children into the armed forces. EU Charge d'Affaires Christian Mana, who met the minister over the same issue, said the European Union stands ready to support South Sudan if any assistance is needed to combat child soldier.
Initiative. I have come to commend His Excellency and the government for having signed the optional protocol on the involvement of children in armed conflict, and I have appealed to him and through him to your government to proceed rapidly with the ratification of this protocol, which would be an additional sign of the government's commitment to make sure that no children are used in armed conflicts in South Sudan.
A team of legislators from the National Parliament visited Bor South County in Jonglei State to drum up the national call for peace and unity. Members of Parliament from Bor South County, led by Honorable Bentiu, encouraged the local population in their respective constituencies to shun ethnicity and work for peace. Our reporter, Poth Johnson Maturu, accompanied the team and filed this report.
A team of parliamentarian caucus headed by the chairperson of Justice and Legislations, Honorable Deng Tiala Yuen, visited Bor County to assess the civil population affected by the war. The team toured places of Sudan Sapari, Bor Town, Mareng, Anyidi, Baidit, Matiang, and Jele to inspect the situation of the war-affected civil population. Speaking to SSTB, the member of the Crisis Management Committee who visited the constituencies in Bor, Dr. Benjamin Maleng Alier, assured the civil population of government commitment to maintain security, urging the people of Greater Bor displaced by the conflict to return home. Malek narrates the genesis of the failed coup attempt and Riek Machar rebellion, which led to massive killing and destruction in the country.
We came for mobilization of the communities, telling them about the events that took place on the 15th December 2013 and about how the communities should consolidate their ranks and come back after they have really deserted their areas.
Meanwhile, the female legislators from the SPLM Women Caucus in the National Parliament praised the SPLM gallant forces in the area for defeating forces of insurgents, calling on the internal displaced persons to return to their respective areas in Jonglei. The legislators say the rebel leader Riek Machar will be held accountable for the killing of innocent civilians in the region.
يخلوا مواطنين وبنوا 7 أمارات. دكتور يك ماجستير ده ما كان زول ساهل في جوبا، عنده 7 أمارات. أنا أتكلم يال بتاع جنوب السودان، البيرك بتاعنا ده اندبندنت بتاعنا ده ما جاب اسم قبيلة واحد، ما جابوا نوير براو ولا جابوا دينكا براو ولا مرلي براو ولا باري براو ولا زاني براو ولا كاكوا براو ولا لاتوكو تابوسا براو. ده بشمل قوة بتاعت أبناء الجنوبين. أنا بقول الوحدة قوة. رجع في محله، المتمردين جروا حربوا محل المشي فوقه لقدام، فالأمن بقى مستب في البلد ده. إحنا دايرين الناس ده يرجعوا. إحنا شايفين زي ما شفتوا النسوان هنا في بايدت، لكن إحنا بنقول النسوان دول تعبانين لأنه الذرة زرعوه حرقوا، البقر اللي فيه ما فيه، الجدار الكاو موجود ما فيه، يعني بقوا قاعدين بيدينهم. فنحن المجتمع العالمي عشان إذا في ريليف ده بشجع الناس ديل عشان يجوا راجعين من المناطق يعرفوا في استقرار في بلدهم.
Meanwhile, the paramount chief of Bor, Ayin Mabior Aye, condemned the rebel mayhem against the civil population, adding that the renegade Riek Machar lacks political agendas.
لو ينقلب ما كان يجي يخرب البلد، يقتل المساكين النسوان العيال كسوار، ما كان يقتلوا. ده كرابة، الكرابة أنا ما دارينه.
دارينا نتعاقد تعييدنا للحكومة وتضامننا مع حكومة وعلى رأسه سلفا كير ميادد الرئيس الجنوب المنتخب. أي زول دار سلطة عشان يشيل سلطة يجي إلى الشعب.
Because it's said by the people, even though you go to west, east, north, and south, home is the best. People are calling for their people, their brothers and sisters, to come back to Jele and in other areas of Greater Bor. Reporting for SSTV in Jele, I'm Port Johnson Matura Cage.
And Juba City Legislative Council has reopened after a month-long recess with a call for improved service delivery. In the recess, the city's lawmakers were busy campaigning for peace and unity among the various communities. As Hawa Rebecca reports, the third session for Juba City Legislative Body would pass 2014-2015 budget.
The third session of Juba City Legislative Council for the year 2013-2014 has been officially reopened after a one-month recess since March 2014. The Deputy Mayor for Lands Development, Festo Abdalaziz, read the Mayor's speech acknowledging the good working relationship within Juba City Council structures. In a statement to SSTV, the chairperson of Juba City Legislative Council, Michael Alajabu, said the council had been in a month recess since March 2014. He says the City Council would pass the 2014-2015 budget for basic service delivery to the people.
Our way forward is that after this reopening, we are going to see that the draft budget for Juba City Council for 2014-2015 is going to be submitted to us soon, so that we are able to deliberate on it on time, so that by the beginning of the fiscal year 2014-2015 in July, we have the budget ready. And then also one of the important thing is the issue of the bill of conduct of area quota councils, that we have also worked on it, whereby we identified some channels of the immunities for the area quota councillors to see that they are also recognized and their work is successful. And then also we have that during our way forward period, we are going also to have some relevant bills that are going to be passed, including the parking bill, and then also the regulation of management of transport within Juba City Council.
During the recess, the City Council held meetings with the civil population residing in Kator, Munuki and Jubanabari residential areas. Since its inception in September 2011, Juba City Council strives to improve sanitation and other social services to the people. For SSTV News, I'm Hawa Rebecca Bismarck.
And we now go to Imehejek in Lopa County of Eastern Equatorial State, where members of parliament are taking the message of peace and unity to the locals there. MPs representing Lopit community in the national and state parliaments are in the area to inform the people of their constituencies on the ongoing political and security situation in the country that emanated from the December aborted coup instigated by renegade Riek Machar. MPs Severino Maira and Elizabeth Adodo were joined by the county chief administrator of the Lopit corridor, Albano Moyang. The legislators urged members of their constituency to maintain the status of being law-abiding citizens and to support the government.